Question 2. Given the function f and the composite function gf, so determine the function g for each of the following. So look at question A first. So this is the fx and this is the composite function of gf. So in this case, the question asking you to find the function g, which is the outer one. So in this case, you need to use the inverse functions in process to find the function of g. So let us start with A. So the composite function of gf, x squared minus 2x minus 3. So this composite function is formed when you insert the function f into the function g. Right? So what is the function f here? We have the function f is given, which is x plus 1. So if you insert this x plus 1 into the function g, into the x in our function g, then this is the answer that you're going to get. But in this case, we don't have the function g, so we didn't know where to insert this x plus 1. So for this case, then we need to use the inverse functions. So next, so let y equal to x plus 1. So for the function f here, we're going to replace it, the fx with y. So y equal to, so now we want the y, the x. We want the x to become the subject when you inverse it. So what's going to happen next is that x equal to, so we're going to move this positive 1 to the other side, so it will become y minus 1. So x equal to y minus 1 is the inverse functions of the f. So when we replace this into the composite function of the gf, then it's going to cancel out the function f. So what we're going to have next is the function g. So let us continue. So now the x plus 1 that we have here is the same as the x, because we said that here y is equal to x plus 1. So this we're going to replace it with y. And for the x that we have here, we're going to replace it with y minus 1. So this is we're going to insert the inverse function of f into the composite function here. So we're going to have y minus 1 square minus 2x. So again, the x here, we're going to replace it with y minus 1 minus 3. So for this part, it's the same meaning as we have two brackets of y minus 1. So here we can expand it. So you're going to get negative 2y plus 2 minus 3. So negative negative become a positive here. So for this part, we need to expand it. So you're going to have y squared minus y plus 1 minus 2y. So for this part, 2 minus 3, we're going to get negative 1 here. Next, so the like term, we can solve it. Negative y minus y minus 4y, you're going to have minus 4y. This 1 minus 1, you're going to get 0. Now, we already solved for the function g, but this function g is with the object of y. So if we look at here, from the question here, all the object that we have here is in terms of x. So next, we're going to replace the y here with the g and with the x. Then the y that we have here, we ought to replace it with the x. So the function gx is equal to x squared minus 4x. So if the x plus 1 you replace into the x into the function g here, this is the answer, composite function that you're going to get. Now let us move to question B. So this is the fx and this is the composite function of the gfx. So the composite function here is formed when you insert the function f into the function g. So the function f is given here, which is x squared plus 3. So if you insert this x squared plus 3 into the function g, then this is the composite function that you're going to get. We didn't know the function g, so this is another question asking you to find the outer functions, right? The outer functions. So we need to use the same method as we done for the a. So we need to have the inverse function. So first, let y equal to x squared plus 3. So now to find the inverse of it, we need the x to become the subject. So we're going to move this positive 3 to the other side. So x squared will equal to y minus 3. So to get the x as our subject, we're going to move this square to the other side. It will become the square root of y minus 3, or I can also written it in the form of power. So the square root is the same as the power of 1 over 2. So in this case later on, I'm going to replace it using this form as it is easier. So now let us continue. We're going to back to these parts here. So now this x squared plus 3 here, we're going to replace it with y, because y here we said that the y is equal to the x squared plus 3. So gy equal to, and for the x here, we're going to replace it with this. Alright, with the power of 1 over 2. So next you're going to have 2, and then you're going to have the bracket y minus 3 with the power of 1 over 2. Then you don't forget we have a square here. Right, so 2x squared plus 3. Now for the power parts here, so we have 1 over 2 times 2 here. So we can simplify it. So next you're going to have 2 bracket y minus 3 plus 3. For this part, we're going to expand it. So 2y minus 6 plus 3. So for the number, solve it. Negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3. So this is the function g with the object of y. So again, if you look at here, all of our object here is in terms of x. So we're going to replace it. We're going to replace the function g that we find. The y here, we're going to replace it with x. And therefore, the y that we have here, we're going to replace it with x as well. So finally, this is the answer of the gx, 2x minus 3.